Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. The heat is on.
Spitzern hoch und ab geht's. Ampel aus, richtig Kanne.
So much action.
Zack, komm, rein, hoch.
Absolutely glued together.
Das ist ganz hoch, Hartmut. Oh, steht übergeil.
And he spins. Yesterday was a day of contrasting emotions in race 11 of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany here at the Sachsenring. It was Maurice Schürring who started on pole position and led the majority of the race. And it was with 2 laps to go that Bastian Buus found a route past and stole away what would have been a first ever victory in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany for Maurice Schürring. Bastian Buus went on to take his second victory of the season. He is on the crest of the wave, having clinched the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup Championship last weekend. Maurice Schürring, a 2-time winner in that series, though, still looking for his first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, proving that this is the toughest Porsche racing category in the world. And the same 2 drivers start on the front row for this race 12 of the season, but the roles are reversed. It is the flying duck of Bastian Buus for Allied Racing who starts on pole position. This time it's Maurice Schürring who starts just a car length back on that front row alongside him, and he will be looking to redress the balance after yesterday's drama. In all of it, though, it was championship leader Larry Tenforder who continued his incredible record of finishing on the podium in every race this year. He came home in 3rd place and extended his lead in the championship to a massive 60 points with 25 points for a win. And after this weekend, with only 4 races remaining in this season, well, you can do the maths. He is looking very, very strong as he looks to become the first ever person to win 3 titles in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So Larry Tenforder starts 3rd on the grid for this race, and he's in a very strong position for yet another podium. A man who was very much in the wars yesterday picked up a penalty was Leon Köhler. Got together with Harry King in the closing stages of the race, finished in 21st position, and he will be looking to improve on that from a 4th place starting position today. There is Alex Fack, a driver who has improved dramatically as this season has gone on. He finished in 7th place yesterday. He's in a position to win his first ever, or to get on the podium and get his best ever result and potentially win his first ever race in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, starting 5th on the grid. He's another driver who's won in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup this year, as has that man there. Loic Hartog had a difficult qualifying session, was not satisfied with where he had been. Yesterday, he finished in 4th place. Today, he starts from 6th. He's got a lot of work to do. He will have his teammate, Larry Tenforder, clearing the way in front of him, and he will be hoping to follow behind him. Huub van Eindhoven, another driver who had a tough day yesterday, recorded his first non-finish of the season. And he is still looking to get as many points as he can. No longer in the championship hunt, but very much looking for those podiums. A driver who's in the hunt for the championship in the rookie standings is Vincent Andronako. We were told to look out for him at the start of this season, and he has been dramatic. He came 2nd in the rookie race yesterday and 8th overall. He's 20 points behind Theo Overhaus in the rookie standings. The man who is 2nd in the rookie standings is Harry Jones, the driver who travels all the way from Australia to be here. He got 11th place yesterday, was very much in amongst all the drama and needs a good points haul today. He is 16 points behind Theo Overhaus, the very rapid driver in car number 34 who leads the rookie standings. In the Pro-Am standings, Zoran Spreng had a difficult day yesterday. He has now only got 8 points ahead of Ahmed Al-Shihab. Ahmed, the driver from Kuwait, who won in the Pro-Am category yesterday. Georgi Donchev is 3rd in the Pro-Am standings, 28 points adrift of Zoran Spreng's title, leading race as well, and he finished third in the Pro-Am standings yesterday. You can see the grid has cleared, the engines are running. We are getting ready for this, which will be race 12 of a 16-race season. We are at the Sachsenring, a challenging track that is 3.645 kilometers around with 13 turns, 4 to the right and 9 to the left. It is a track with a lot of undulation. It's a very fast track, and it is a tyre eater. Drivers will need to preserve their tyres if they want to be in the fight at the end of this race. And it is Bastian Buus on pole position with Maurice Schöring starting alongside him. Resuming their battle from yesterday, championship leader Larry Tenforder has Leon Köhler for company on row 2. Row 3 of the grid is Alex Fack and Loic Hartog, and on row 4 of the grid, Hub van Eindhoven and Vincent Andronacco, the driver challenging and the leading rookie driver on this grid at the moment. Harry Jones and the championship leader in the rookies, Theo Overhouse, start on the next row. Then it's Alex Tauscher and Ariel Levy who line up on row 6. Row 7 is Jan Saver and Harry King. He had a difficult qualifying session as well, a long way back for him on row 7. And on row 8, Yasin Ferrati ended up in the gravel yesterday alongside the youngest driver in the field, Janis Stiak. Matteo Ferrer-Azza on row 9. Gisela Cordil, he's the one who got together with Yasin Ferrati, and he lines up on the row behind. Georgi Donchev and Sebastian Framer. Georgi Donchev, he's the leading Pro-Am qualifier, and Zoran Spreng, the Pro-Am championship leader, lines up alongside Mikael Essmann, another driver who is getting quicker as this season progresses. Tim Stender and Jonas Greif line up alongside each other on row 12. And on row 13, it's Horst Felix Felbermayr, and we welcome Alexander Reimann from Estonia to the grid here as a guest driver. Christoph Langer, welcome back, Christoph, to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He lines up alongside Kai Pfister. And then bringing up the rear of the pack, Ahmed Al-Shahab, who had such a strong day yesterday, and Holger Harmsen. That makes up the 30 runners and riders here at the Sachsenring for this race 12 of the season for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So up that steep hill, which is turn 13. It really is a big climb up there, and it is where the drivers will be looking to position themselves in exactly the right place so they can get a good run along the pit straight and challenge the cars in front into turn 1. It is a challenging track. Turn 1, the best overtaking opportunity, and potentially at the bottom of the waterfall into turn 12. It is a windy track. It is a lot of undulation. It is a tyre eater. It is a track that is going to test the drivers in this heat. 25 degrees centigrade and rising. The track is up to 23.7 degrees. So it is going to be a challenging 30 minutes plus 1 lap for these drivers here at the Sachsenring. It's the second race of the weekend. Is it payback time at the Sachsenring? We are about to find out. Our eyes now turn towards the lights in just a few moments. The red lights will come on, and then the cars will disappear in towards turn 1. It's such a tight corner. The cars need to try and make it around that corner. The lights are out, and away we go. Bastian Buus immediately moves across to try and block the way from Maurice Schöring. Schöring can remember yesterday, and he leads into turn 1, but Bastian Buus has the faster line around the outside into turn 1. Schöring tries to shut the door. They bounce off each other. It's Schöring in the lead of the race. Bastian Buus now under pressure from Larry Tenforder. Loic Hartog's in there as well. A little bit of a nudge. Bastian Buus going wide around the Castrol Omega turn of turn 3. The two Team GP Elite cars running together. There's drama behind, but it's Larry Tenforder also in front of Bastian Buus, our pole sitter, dropping back 2 places in the opening couple of corners. But Maurice Schöring carrying on where he left off yesterday. That is Tim Stender, and it looks as though, now who is that? It is Horst Felix Felbermayr. So problems there. Safety car is out, and Zoran Spreng, the championship leader in the Pro-Am category, into the gravel trap. So safety car is out, but very significant indeed. Losing Zoran Spreng, the leader of the Pro-Am category in the championship, and Tim Stender as well. So clearly cars have got together into turn 1 and also into turn 6. We saw some drama as well. That will no doubt be investigated by our race stewards, but Zoran Spreng into the gravel trap. That is disastrous. To remind you, coming into this race, he had an 8-point lead over Ahmed Al-Shihab. Well, Ahmed Al-Shihab is running last but one in this race at the moment, but the difference is he's running and Zoran Spreng is out. So if Al-Shihab can continue through and pick up points, he could jump to the top of the point standings in the Pro-Am category. But what a dramatic start. Maurice Schöring doing what he needed to do. And this time, Bastian Boos is not on his back bumper because it's Maurice Schöring's fellow countryman, Larry Tenforder, into that second place. I say fellow countryman, but I think Larry Tenforder is looking for a win. He'll be very keen to get past Maurice Schöring. He's not going to be doing any rear gunning, that is for sure. Bastian Boos will be incredibly frustrated. He came from behind yesterday. He proved it could be done. Great shot from the pit wall as the cars went away. You can see that Bastian Boos was quick off the mark, but Alex Fack, after such a strong qualifying, did not get away. He eventually gets the car rolling, but most of the pack has gone through. Huub van Eindhoven, great reactions not to go at the back of him. Also Alex Tauscher as well, and Jan Seifert all taking avoiding action. So it was good that Alex Fack survived that, but such a shame. He'd had such a strong qualifying session, was quietly confident about moving forward in this race. Then into turn one, look at this. Maurice Schöring was in the inside, and you can see Bastian Boos and they get together. The two cars bounce off each other, and Bastian Boos goes spearing off towards the gravel. He gathers it all up together, but by the time he's done that, Larry Tenforder has also got involved in the fight. Looking back, and you can see Leon Köhler was also very much in the fight as well, but he is down to 6th place. So Bastian Boos will be frustrated by that. That was a moment when Boos and Larry Tenforder were running alongside each other. Look, Hartog, he had a great start. Gets behind Leon Köhler, then to the inside into turn one. His teammate Larry Tenforder there, just nice and cautious through that first corner. Nothing too wild. He can see his arch rival Bastian Boos bouncing off the two cars in front of him. He just stays tidy behind Larry Tenforder, watching it all unfold. Probably had a little think about going up the inside of Larry there as well. Maybe thought the better of it. This is the view from Ahmed Al-Shihab, so he has made up a couple of places as a result of the cars that went, but he did have contact. Was that with Mikael Essmann? Was with one of the other cars, and you can see the frustration, and he throws his hands into the air. What is going on here, he says, but this is the dramatic bit as well. Zoran Spreng off into the gravel trap. And going no further, another car that's pointing, that's Mikael Essmann, who's pointing in the wrong direction there, as well as, I think it was Horst Felix Felbermayr, who's the other one that was pointing in the wrong direction. So a very dramatic first lap. Now, the incident between Bastian Boos and Maurice Schöring has been noted by our race stewards. We did see the two cars making contact. It has been noted. It means they're having a look at it, and they will decide if there is any penalty to be issued. It looked to me like a classic first corner at the Sachsenring, to be quite honest, but hey, I'm not the steward. This is why I'm doing this. I'm not stewarding. It is, though, Maurice Schöring who leads the way. Larry Tenforder, great start from him. From 3rd to 2nd, Bastian Boos, our pole sitter, in 3rd place. Lurk Hartog, good start from him from 6th to 4th place. And Huub van Eindhoven making up for a tough day yesterday from 7th place up to 5th. Leon Köhler was the big loser. He started on the 2nd row. He is now down in 6th place. And Vincent Andronako, the leading rookie driver, he's in 7th overall with Harry Jones and Theo Overhaus just behind him. So really good start from Vince Andronako in that 7th place. Our leading Pro-Am driver is Georgi Donchev. He is 18th overall. Christoph Langer is 2nd in the Pro-Ams, and Holger Harmsen, good start from him, up to 23rd place, and he is 3rd in the Pro-Am category. Right, update on our timing screens. Maurice Schöring and Bastian Boos no further action. The stewards have taken a look and have decided there will be no further action. That is Jonas Greif. He was the car that we saw turned around at the back of the pack, and that looks like coolant leaking from the front of that car. Let's have another look here around the Castrol Omega turn 3. It's always a squeeze. That bit of the track is so narrow. So what happened to Zoran Spreng? We can see him up there, and he gets together with Mikael Essmann. And it was Horst Felix Felbermar was part of that as well. The meat in the sandwich, he was on the outside, got spat out. Desperately tries to keep it moving. And just all sorts of drama breaking out behind. That is classic Sachsenring. It is such a narrow, windy, uphill part of the track, and then they're climbing up the hill. I think that was Jonas Greif we saw just with the fluid that was coming from the car as he went around the circuit, and there he is in the pits. His weekend is over. The incident on lap 1 will be reported to the stewards of the meeting. That's what it says on our timing screens. There were so many incidents on lap 1. I think they might have a bit of work cut out to sort that lot out. A lot of cars going in a lot of different directions and not necessarily the right one. We always knew it was likely to get a safety car on the opening lap here at the Sachsenring. It's a really quick track, and the very fast section, which is turns 9 through to turn 13, that's where they're really motoring. But it's turns 1 through to turn 8, which is so windy and so difficult and so narrow. Hills, blind crests, you name it, everything is thrown at these drivers. The cars are weaving at the moment, trying to keep heat into the tyres, despite the fact that the track temperature is increasing by the second. 22 degrees, still getting the tyres into the operating window is critical. And running behind the safety car, of course, everything cools down just a little. The safety car period, which has gone on for a fair period of time now, has actually helped because tyre wear will become less of an issue running behind the safety car. We have no notification yet of when the safety car might be in, but this is going to be really, really interesting. Maurice Schöring, yesterday, I've never seen anybody so disappointed with second place. It was his best result of the season, but he knew he was so close to that first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He would have become the youngest ever winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, beating a record that has been standing for some time that is held by Thomas Preining, a driver who is also racing this weekend in the DTM category and very much challenging at the top of the point standings in that. But Maurice Schöring looking to wrestle that youngest ever title away from him. He is a driver who is having such a good year. He took 2 wins in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup season. He won at Spa-Francorchamps under immense pressure, and then that emotional win at his home track at Zandvoort. Also emotional win for his fellow countryman Loic Hartog at the second race at Zandvoort, and that was a few weeks ago. Right, safety car is in on this lap. To your feet, everybody. This is going to be a thriller. Maurice Schöring leads the pack very, very slowly up the hill towards turn 13. He's weaving. He's now on the accelerator. Larry Tenforder has anticipated it well. Out along the pit straight they will come. Now Maurice Schöring leading the way across the line, past the debris of the billboard and out towards turn 1. Larry Tenforder looking to the inside into turn 1. Maurice Schöring just taking it nice and steady. He can remember yesterday, Larry Tenforder under pressure from Bastian Boos. So as long as that is happening, that maybe allows Maurice Schöring to break free a little bit. We saw Theo Overhaus just moving to the outside there as well. Now Loic Hartog getting involved. That was a punt from Bastian Boos. A little bit of a thump from the front bumper, but that has actually unsettled Boos a little. Loic Hartog is there. He can sniff an opportunity for a potential podium to make up for what was a tough day yesterday. Behind Hartog is Hube van Eindhoven and Leon Köhler. Keep an eye on Vincent Andronacco, who goes wide, 2 wheels onto the dirt. Doesn't seem to slow him too much, but Harry Jones and Theo Overhaus, the 3 of them are all fighting for the Rookie Championship title, and they are all running together on the track at the moment. The dirt being kicked up in the air by Larry Tenforder, showering the camera of the Bastian Boost Allied racing car. Somebody's had a big moment up the top there. You can see the dust flying through the air. It looks like everybody's still running now. Maurice Scheuring significantly has opened up a gap. What he doesn't need at the moment is a safety car, so he's opening up that gap from Larry Tenforder. It was 0.378 last time across the line. It's certainly going to be bigger than that this time. It really is. 1.134 as we see Ariel Levy coming under pressure from one of the FAC Autotech cars into turn one. It's Yasin Ferrati who's turning the heat up there. He was pretty grumpy about ending up in the gravel yesterday, having got together with Gisela Cordeal. Also in there, Janis Stiak in 15th place, a driver who has continued to improve, got a third place in the rookie race yesterday, and he is also moving on up, pushing hard as he goes. But Maurice Scheuring currently leading the way. 18 minutes of this race remaining, so we've settled down a bit. Larry Tenforder, there is Janis Stiak going wide out of the corner. He's opened the door a little bit. He had been pushing forwards, but that is going to send him back a bit because it takes a few corners to get the tyres cleaned up. And that is Matteo Ferrer-Azza in 17th place, who is behind him and challenging him. So Janis Stiak going out wide, but keeps it all together. Again, some of the drivers going very wide through the corner, the dirt being dragged onto the track. Let's have another look at Janis Stiak. Looking back at him here in this replay, goes out onto the dirt. Doesn't even think about lifting off, does he? That's what they're made of, these drivers. So Yasin Ferrati is released there. Behind Yasin Ferrati is now Gisela Cordeal. That's the driver he got together with yesterday. That's going to be lively. Lively also into turn one. Larry Tenforder. Bastian Boost almost pushing him around the corner. The race is reaching the halfway point of Bastian. You can see his close rival, Maurice Scheuring, in the distance around Castrol Omega turn 3. Up the hill towards turn 4 they come. Bastian Boost getting impatient, but he is the meat in a GP Elite sandwich. Behind him is Lurk Hartog, who is just as eager to put one on his rival, Bastian Boost. Behind them, Huub van Eindhoven, ready to pounce if any of these cars get together. Larry Tenforder goes wide. His tyres are going to be dirty now. Is he going to be vulnerable to Bastian Boost? This might be the opportunity Boost needs. They go up over the crest of the hill. It doesn't look as though Larry Tenforder's pace has been affected too much. Up towards turn 10 they come. Again, that dust is kicked up into the air by the drivers. Larry Tenforder still in that second place. Bastian Boost following him all the way around turn 12 they come. Up the steep hill. Now Boost will be lining up Larry Tenforder as best he can, trying to get a good entry into this corner. He clips the curb on the inside, then to the outside, and then it's along the pit straight, absolutely flat out before we head to the second gear corner, which is turn 1. And Maurice Scheuring, the gap is up to 1.608. So Larry Tenforder unintentionally helping Maurice Scheuring, because Bastian Boost is getting increasingly frustrated as he sees a GP Elite car in front and a GP Elite car behind. And just to add even more, Huub van Eindhoven also in a Team GP Elite car in 5th place behind Lurk Hartog. Leo Köhler settled down after a tough start to the race. And then there's Vincent and Renaco. Look behind them, a driver that we haven't seen anything of in this race so far, but you discount Harry King at your peril. Harry King on the move, now challenging Harry Jones, trying to move his way back through the pack. We're not used to seeing Harry King starting anything less than second row on the grid, but he had a tough time, started 14th on the 7th row of the grid for this race, his worst qualifying, and now fighting back from that. Still, that dirt that's been kicked out on the track, that is Ariel Levy. Looks like he's got a tyre that's gone down, so we lose Ariel Levy for Team Huber Racing. He pulls the car to safety. Maurice Scheuring will be praying like mad that that car does go to safety and he doesn't lose that 1.6 second gap that he's built out at the front. Well, that's as far as Levy's going to go. It looks to me as though he's got the car safe, and such a shame for the Israeli driver. And looks like the tyre has gone down. And he goes wide, and in fact the tyre hasn't gone down, the wheel has parted company with the car. So a failure there, the wheel goes in a different direction, and with 3 wheels on the wagon, Ariel Levy has no option but to park that car up. And good that it happened there in a position where he's able to run to safety, and nothing more dramatic than that. So, back to the front. Maurice Schöring, 13 3/4 minutes remaining. Dare he dream? There is still a long way to go, but Larry Tenforder is holding on to that second place. Bastian Boos pushing hard in 3rd place. Lurk Hartog in 4th. We're looking back now at Harry Jones in 8th place, and he is defending hard from Harry King, another of the very rapid Allied racing cars. Harry King has Theo Overhaus behind, but Overhaus just a little bit too far back at the moment to challenge. And Alex Tauscher in 11th place, another driver who you discount at your peril, pushing forwards in the number 13 car. In towards turn 1, Bastian Boos looking to the inside. Now, yesterday, he sold the dummy to Maurice Schöring. He got Maurice to defend, and he went for the gap and got through after so many laps of trying. He's gonna have to get up pretty early in the morning to put one over Larry Tenforder, because the pilot of the number 25 car is the most successful driver in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He just keeps killing the stats. He's had 28 wins in the series. He's had 61 podiums, and eyeing up podium number 62 today. He has 2 championships, looking very, very handy for his 3rd. So Bastian Boos is going to have to dig deep if he wants to find a route past Larry Tenforder. Harry King continues to follow Harry Jones. A lot of these drivers visiting the Sachsenring for the very first time. Certainly Harry Jones, every track that we visit in Carrera Cup Germany, it's the first time for him. The Australian driver who's visiting the European tracks for the first time this year. Harry King, I believe this is his first time here as well. As we look at Janis Stiak, after that big moment earlier on, he's in 14th place. Ahead of him is Yasin Ferrati in the number 7 car. And a good drive from Jan Seifert in 12th in the number 98 car, just ahead of them. But Janis Stiak continuing to push forwards. He's the youngest driver ever in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and he has no fear. Looking at the back of Yasin Ferrati in towards turn 1. 11.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. There's Alex Fack just trying to work his way back through the field to the inside of Matteo Ferrer-Azza. He gets 2 wheels onto the dirt, but continues very much in the order that they were in around the Castrol Omega turn 3. But Alex Fack will be gutted about that poor start at the start of the race. The car clearly got bogged down, and he never got it going. He's now having to fight his way back through the pack. It is a rapid car that's identical to the one that is leading the race. So Alex Fack continues to pressure in the number 8 car. Matteo Ferrer-Azza for Scherer Sport just ahead of him. Finding the opportunities here at the Sachsenring. Really tough. Down the waterfall we come once again. Heavy braking into turn 12. There is Huub van Eindhoven. 5th place for him would be a good result, and in fact it would be his best result of the year so far. So he's going to be pretty keen to hold on to that 5th place and potentially even move forwards. Ahead of him, his fellow Dutch driver is Lurk Hartog in 4th place, and they're all looking pretty solid at the moment. Maurice Schöring has stretched his legs to 2.070 seconds over Larry Tenforder. 2/3 of the race is gone now, so he's just got to do it all again for another 10 minutes, and he may well pick up his first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Yasin Ferrati put in the heat onto Jan Seifert. A very strong showing from Seifert in 12th place. Yasin Ferrati will have Janis Stiak for company before too long. Up the hill they come. Janis Stiak is one of the talent pool drivers, part of the Porsche Carrera Cup. It's a series of, it's a group of drivers who are coached and mentored by former Porsche Works driver Wolf Hensler. They are taught so many disciplines, not just driving, but also keeping fit. It's about diet, it's about etiquette, it's about dealing with the media. The wonderful talent pool. There are 7 drivers racing this season, part of the talent pool. Jartin Ferrati is one of them, as indeed is Janis Stiak. That dust up in the air is throwing all of us. I think it has been a car that has kicked some dust onto the racing line, and every time they go through it, it just throws a bit more up into the air. But everybody still pointing in the direction. Everything is all good. Georgi Donchev continues to lead in the Pro-Am race. He is 19th overall, and he has a good opportunity to pick up some points. Look to see what Ahmed Al-Shihab is, and he is 6th in the Pro-Am race. So he is still going to be wanting to push forward. Jartin Ferrati now to the inside. Oh, and he gets it wrong. Jartin Ferrati misses the breaking point now. Can he keep it going? He's into the gravel trap, and he just about keeps it going. That would not have helped his teammates. Maurice Schöring leading the race if the safety car had come out. He was just trying to find a route past Jan Seifert, got the braking all wrong, into the gravel trap. He drops down through the order and now has to do it all again. Let's take another look there. It was Seifert who locked up into turn 1, and Ferrati just took a little bit too much speed as well. Now, it says the incident is under investigation by our race stewards. Now, whether there was some contact leading into that or whether the stewards have seen something else, well, we don't know, but they are investigating it. The big winner in it, though, was Janis Stiak, who was able to sneak past both of them as they went off into that corner. And it just looked to me like they both missed their braking points going in there. Ferrati goes deep, but keeps it going. The main bit about getting into a gravel trap is to not come to a stop. And the moment you come to a stop, then you really are in trouble. But he keeps it rolling, keeps the wheels turning just, and you can see the car desperately trying to get bogged down, but he makes it happen and gets the car out. Right, 7 minutes remaining of this race. Larry Tenforda has taken 0.6 of a second out of Maurice Schöring's lead. Bastian Boos continues to monster in 3rd place. There is no further action between Jartin Ferrati and Jan Seifert. That is the message from race control. Theo Overhaus is behind Harry King, 2 of the real chargers in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Harry King up to 9th place, still a long way back from where he is accustomed to being. And Theo Overhaus, the driver at the top of the rookie standings, leading the way, but 3rd in the rookie race at the moment, because it's Vincent Andronacco who leads the rookies in 7th place overall. Harry King, though, he's got his work cut out, keeping Theo Overhaus behind him. He is such an entertainer, the driver of the number 34 car, who's joined Porsche Carrera Cup Germany this year and seems to have absolutely no fear. Mind you, we say that about Harry King as well. Remember him in the wet at Spa-Francorchamps in the season opener as he goes wide out of turn 13. It was Harry King who went 2 abreast in the rain up Eau Rouge and didn't even lift off, and he won on his debut in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. That is a feat that is almost unheard of. Still looking for that 2nd win this season, though. Doesn't look as though it's going to come this weekend here at the Sachsenring. We're riding on board with Bastian Boos in 3rd place. We follow the Duck, who follows Larry Tenforda still. 1.714 is the gap between 1st and 2nd. Here's another look at that Jan Seifert lockup into turn 1. It really was a big lockup, and I should think those tyres will be utterly flat-spotted and wrecked. I should think when this race is over, they'll probably clonk them off into a corner somewhere and look at them as a souvenir, because they are utterly wrecked after that lockup, and he will have some big vibrations for the last 5 minutes of this race. Now, Leon Köhler has caught up with Huub van Eindhoven, who is in 5th place. So Huub van Eindhoven can see the number 77 car in his mirrors. Leon Köhler, who started the season with Huber Racing and is now with Proton Competition in the car that we saw Adam Smalley in for the first 4 rounds of the season. And he has really not had the season he'd hoped for. He's had a couple of podiums, a couple of third places at the Nürburgring, but Leon Köhler came into this year really expecting to be a challenger for the title, and it's just really not come together. But he's there at the moment in 6th place as we ride on board with Australian Harry Jones, who has Mr. Roo, his sponsor, on the dashboard of the car. At least he did last time I looked. And the Australian driver, who is absolutely loving racing in Europe at the moment. And every time you speak to him, he says, I'm loving it. He's loving it at the moment because he's in 8th place. He'd love it even more if he could find a route past Vincent Andronacco. Andronacco, the driver that we saw in ADAC GT4 last year, made a few heads turn then. He's making a few heads turn here as well because he's leading the rookie race at the moment. He's in 7th place overall. Second the rookies in this race. In 8th place overall is Harry Jones, and 3rd is Theo Overhaus. He is 10th on the road. Georgi Donchev is in 19th place, so he's leading the Pro-Am race. And Christoph Langer is 2nd in the Pro-Ams, but he's a guest driver, so won't be scoring points. So that means that Kai Pfister, good job from him, in 22nd place, is 2nd in the Pro-Am race. Still, the dust is flying through the Sahara Desert. We come down the waterfall. Whoever heard of a waterfall in the Sahara Desert? In towards turn 12 and up towards turn 13. The driver's pushing so hard. The tyres are getting very, very worn now, with a little over 3 minutes of this race remaining, and the tyres starting to get to the end of their life. It's still Maurice Schöring who's leading the way, 1.4 seconds. There's Alex Fack continuing his march back up through the pack. This is 14th place. Jan Seifert not really putting up too much of a challenge, but those vibrations that he no doubt will be feeling probably affecting the handling of the car as well. Matteo Ferrer-Azza is in the background too. But Alex Fack, damage limitation, recovering. He's back into the points now. In 14th place, ahead of him is Gisela Cordil and Janis Stiak. 2.5 minutes remaining. Maurice Schöring, dare he dream about this? Yesterday, he came so close, but it was snatched away from him. He's now leading the race with a little over 2 minutes remaining. The fighting continues further back. Sebastian Freimert in the number 31 car in 17th place, with Yasin Ferrati trying to make up for what was a very short day yesterday out along the pit straight. Sebastian Freimert might be lacking a bit of traction as he goes into turn 1. Here is our race leader, less than 2 minutes. Larry Tenforder, he's not necessarily looking for race wins. He just needs points, but he locks up into turn 1. Bastian Boost sees that as an opportunity. Larry Tenforder somehow slams the door, but he's going to be off his rhythm at the moment. Around turn 3, the Castrol-Omega turn. Bastian Boost sees this as his opportunity. He gives Larry Tenforder a smallest of taps as they go up the hill towards turn 4. Over the blind crest of the hill, the double blind crest. Larry Tenforder still holding on to that 2nd place. 1.25 minutes remaining for Maurice Schöring. 2nd place, Larry Tenforder. 3rd, Bastian Boost, but Larry came so close to losing it here, smoking the tyre into turn 1. That was the view from Bastian Boost. You can see the gap opening up. Larry immediately goes to correct the mistake. He shuts the door on Bastian Boost before he can slot that blue and green car into it. And somehow Larry Tenforder holds on to that position. Vincent Andronacco, he's wild. Out onto the gravel he goes. And Harry Jones, well, he didn't quite make it stick, but that was a big moment for Vincent Andronacco. And Harry Jones, another driver that wasn't quite able to capitalise. You can see what it looked like. Out wide onto the gravel went Vincent Andronacco. Harry Jones can see the open track in front of him, and Vincent Andronacco comes sweeping back across and says, no mate, you're not having this. 7th place is mine, and he continues to run in that 7th place and the leading rookie driver. You see Bastian Boost, I think his tyres are starting to go as well now, sliding around turn 3 and around turn 4. Up they go towards turn 4 and 5 over the crest of the hill. Maurice Schöring still well ahead. And now down the hill they come to the other side and in towards turn 8. And then it's up the hill again. towards the fastest part of the track. Over the hill they go into turn 9 and 10, and then it'll be down the waterfall. The clock has struck 0. Maurice Schöring is 1.5 laps away from what might be his first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. We see the visiting number 47 car. That's Alex Reimann, the Estonian driver who's racing for EST1 Racing this weekend. The first ever Estonian driver and team to enter Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. It's been a lively weekend. He's discovering the gravel at the Sachsenring, but it looks like he's able to keep it going and rejoin. Here we go then, the final lap of the race. Yesterday, Maurice Schöring came so close, but the blue car that's in third place almost all the way through the race finally did it. But this time Maurice Schöring, he's looking for payback. You saw Larry Tenforder once again smoking that brake into the corner. Bastian Buus now second place, looks like the best he's going to be able to get. He's pressuring Larry Tenforder all the way. The tyres on all of these cars are absolutely shot. Around towards turn 7 they go again, and that's Alex Fack out of turn 1 in towards turn 2. He's had drama, and it's that Gisela Cordeal, complete with ADAC sponsorship. Around turn 3 he goes. There's advertising if ever I saw it. Up the hill, he's going to struggle to get round the rest of the lap. The leaders continue on their way, and Gisela Cordeal very wisely decides to part company with the board and then into the gravel trap. But here we go, down the waterfall for the very last time. Yesterday he led all bar 2 laps of this race. It was Bastian Buus who cruelly stole it from him, but now it's payback time at the Sachsenring. Maurice Schöring, his first ever win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and he also becomes the youngest ever winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Larry Tenforder extends his championship lead even further. Another podium. Bastian Buus, yesterday's winner, has to settle for third place. What a phenomenal drive on board with Bastian Buus. He will be disappointed with that third place. The Porsche Junior, who's really got back into the habit of winning again after a tough start to the year. But it's Maurice Schöring who finally gets that win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He's been looking for so long. It is his 44th start in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany as his teammate Alex Fack disappears off very disconsolately. You can see he got together potentially with Gisela Cordeal. Was there contact? Yes, there certainly was. And Alex Fack and Cordeal both off into the gravel trap and then into the fence for Alex Fack. So Gisela Cordeal, well, he's been in the wars, hasn't he? And that's why he picked up the additional sponsorship as he came out onto the track. His vision very much impaired, and Alex Fack very much just drifting after the contact with the 27 car. And it was Gisela Cordeal who then disappeared off into a place of safety. No safety car was required. The incident is under investigation by our race stewards. Wow. There is the Alex Fack car parked up, abandoned, and the Fack Autotech team will get to work on that, but they won't be too worried at the moment because their driver, Maurice Schöring, has finally done it. His 44th attempt in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He had it so cruelly stolen away yesterday, but this time it was payback time for Maurice Schöring. Second place went to Larry Tenforder. Bastian Buus in third. A good solid drive from Lurk Hartog into fourth. Also great drive from Huub van Eindhoven into fifth. Leon Kerner in sixth. Vincent Andronacco, despite the rallycross, winning in the rookie standings with Harry Jones in second. That is in 8th overall. Harry King, his comeback was only to 9th place. Theo Overhaus, 3rd in the rookies, 10th overall. Alex Tauscher, 11th. Janis Stiak in 12th, ahead of Matteo Ferrer, Azar, Sebastian Framer, Jarten Verratti, and Jan Seifert. Georgi Donchev wins in the Pro-Am race ahead of Christoph Langer and Kai Pfister, with Alexander Reimann in 20th place, the visiting driver. Good also score for Holger Harmsen, 21st and 4th in the Pro-Am categories. An awful lot of DNFs in that race. So some significant ones as well, none more so than Zoran Spreng And this will see a big shake-up in the Pro Am standings. But look at this. Into Parc Fermé we come. Yesterday, he looked utterly miserable. Today, he's on top of the world. He's won twice in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. Now he is a race winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Maurice Schöring receiving the congratulations from the FAC Autotech team. Also great to see Team GP Elite and the team led by Torsten van Haasteren, who congratulate him, and also Larry ten Voorde, who continues his record of finishing on the podium in every single race this year. And for Larry ten Voorde, that is his 62nd podium. Congratulations to Maurice Schöring from Bastian Boost, but today it's his turn for the long face because he started from pole position, but it didn't look like it was going to happen. It all was settled in the first corner of the race. It was Maurice Schöring who got the better getaway. Bastian Boost, he did such a solid job trying to come back round the outside. There was the contact between the two cars, and it was Maurice Schöring who came out on top. The stewards had a good look at it and have decided there was no further action. And there is Larry ten Voorde once again bouncing around Parc Fermé, 64 points ahead in the standings. And now starting to look fairly unassailable. There's only 100 points left in this championship that are available. 100 points, that's 2 race weekends. And with a 64-point lead, he can afford to have 2 DNFs and he will still lead the championship. So Larry ten Voorde very much in the box seats in the championship. Bastian Boost, his closest rival, in 2nd place. Wow, another stunning race yesterday. Well, that was going to take a bit of beating anyway, wasn't it, here at the Sachsenring? But today, in the glorious sunshine, we see a history made once again. A new, youngest ever driver in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. It was Thomas Preining for so long, who was the youngest ever driver. Now it's that man there, Maurice Schöring. Part of a racing family. His dad, who is such an enthusiast and such a character around the raceways. And Maurice's younger brother, Flint Schöring, racing elsewhere in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this weekend. We really hope we're going to see Flint in Carrera Cup Germany next year. Get the feeling there might be 2 Schörings on the grid. Whatever they put in the water in his hometown, it's clearly working. Maurice Schöring looking fairly calm and collected about it all. And sharing notes and thoughts. There we go. The smile from Maurice Schöring. He's finally done that. So Toby Shimon, our presenter on circuit, just having a quick interview with him. Just trying to kind of listen in, actually. And there we take a look at Maurice Schöring's car, beautifully prepared by FAC Autotech. Alex Fack Sr., who leads that team, and of course his son Alex Fack Jr., who's in the number 8 car. There is the 3rd place though. Follow the duck. Bastian Boost at Allied Racing, yesterday's winner. He can't make it 3 in a row, having won the 2nd race at the Sachsenring last time out. The most successful man in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, Larry ten Voorde for Team GP Elite, coming home in 2nd place, picking up more solid points. But it's that man who steals the headlines, winning for the first time in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany for FAC Autotech, Maurice Schöring. So a lovely slow-mo of Maurice crossing the line, a good gap ahead of Larry ten Voorde. Really looked as though the fight between ten Voorde and Boost had really taken the best out of the tyres. Both of them were sliding around towards the end of that race. Maurice, to be fair, once they got around turn 3, never really looked like being under threat, did he? He opened up that gap and he held it to about 1.5, between 1.5 and 2 seconds, and he maintained that gap, looked after the car, looked after the tyres, and brought it home for that debut win. And Great to see the congratulations from Larry Tenforder as well in Parc Fermé. There's the Jonas Greif car being put onto the low loader. A less successful day for him. So just to summarise, once again, Vincent Andronacco was the winner in the rookie race ahead of Harry Jones. So Andronacco was 7th, Harry Jones was 8th, and Theo Overhaus, who was 10th on the track, was 3rd in the rookie standings. In the Pro-Ams, it's Georgi Donchev ahead of Christoph Lange and Kai Pfister. That's the 1, 2, 3, 17th, 18th, and 19th on the track. But Holger Harmsen will inherit the points for 3rd place because Christoph Lange is visiting. And maybe that strong result will encourage him to come back and maybe do a full season next year. It'll be really good to see someone who's a real character in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany paddock. There is also Horst Felix Felbermayr and the 88 car. He's had a weekend he'd probably rather forget. It was 19th place yesterday. Still looking to get anywhere into the top 10 overall, though he has picked up a couple of 3rd places in the rookie race. So, deep breath, as you were. Calm down, everybody. I think there's some dogs in Chemnitz that are going wild after my commentary. But there we go. We're looking at the podium now, and we're getting ready to receive the 1, 2, 3 up onto that podium and to celebrate what was a great drive from all three. Bastian Buus onto the 3rd step of the podium. The Porsche Junior. 2nd place, the man who's always smiling, Larry Tenforder. But to the top step, for the first time in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, the youngest ever winner. He now adds Carrera Cup Germany to his 2 wins in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. It's Maurice Schöring. And then from FAC Autotech, we also have a representative as well, who is a team mechanic. Once again, we hear the Dutch national anthem. What is it about the Netherlands that is producing these drivers? Hurry Isaac presents the 3rd place trophy to Bastian Buus. But it's double Dutch on the podium because it's Larry Tenforder in 2nd. And once again, Hurry Isaac, a real character and ever-presence, one of the organisers of this series, presenting that 2nd place trophy. And also from the Netherlands, on the top step, Maurice Schöring picking up that 1st win. And then there'll be a trophy for FAC Autotech. It's Arno Samimi, who is the race mechanic, who receives the trophy on behalf of FAC Autotech. So Toby Shimon asks them to stand a bit closer for the customary photographs, and those who are very wise indeed will run for cover very soon. We might just come to the front as well to wave from the balcony. There we go. Practice your royal waves, everybody. The subjects have gathered down below. Pick up your trophies. How many trophies must Larry Tenforder have by now? I actually think he needs a warehouse to keep that lot. There's the rest of the crew, FAC Autotech looking on. And now Maurice Schöring can spray the champagne because he can call himself a winner in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He has won race 12 of the 2023 season. Larry Tenforder has put one hand on the trophy in the championship. We're back in just 3 weeks' time. It will be the 22nd and the 24th of September at the Red Bull Ring. Join us then for the penultimate round of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany.